Hello everybody, welcome back for this episode of Rambling Reaction Review. Today we are going to look at RWBY World of Remnant number 3, Cross Continental Transmit System. Let's begin. The episode is yet again voiced by Professor Ozpin, and the art style is the same as the last two episodes of World of Remnant, so my overall opinion of that art style is the same as before. I'm gonna quickly just say I still prefer the previous volume's style overall, and I'm still hoping that they at least adapt the art style that was used in the Crow flashback bit a few episodes back. Now, on a new positive note for this episode style, it worked so well for what it was being used for this episode. The buildings, the land masses are crisp and pop out, and the Grim models look dark and menacing without being too flat and bland like a lot of evil things can look. I guess my main complaint is just mainly still how the humans look, but they aren't in the episode too much except for that poor postman. Every day, 5 postal workers are killed by Grim. Only you can help with this donation. This system was put into place by the technologically advanced Kingdom of Atlas as a gift to the rest of the world, according to Weiss.
It was their gift to the world after the Great War.
Ooh, look at me. My name is Weiss. I know facts.
But before this time, the people of Remnant were, let's say, back in the dark ages of communications. Information had to be sent on foot by a person, and that person was kind of always in danger, not only from the elements, but the Grim as well. On top of that, every time society tried to raise itself up, technologically wise, with railways, most likely like telegraph systems or smaller radio relays, they were always confronted yet again by the Grim, because reasons. Apparently, also satellites were considered at one time. But as an interesting tidbit of info given was that space travel from Remnant is not actually limited by the debris field of the destroyed moon, like I had originally thought. But it's actually for the fact that dust does not work outside of Remnant's atmosphere. Isn't that curious? It must mainly be because dust is tied to the planet itself, almost in a way that materia in Final Fantasy is connected to the life stream, or in other words, what the life stream is based off of, Gaia, the spirit of the earth, which is a running theme in the Final Fantasy universe and several other religions as well. It makes me wonder if there is a spirit or Gaia for the planet of Remnant, who maybe took pity on its people and gifted them with dust. It could even be someone we've already heard about, too. Moving on, so with satellites not being an option, the Cross Continental Transmit System was built by Atlas for the world, consisting of 4 towers that aren't just simple radio towers, but an all-encompassing network broadcast system for digital data, for phones, for video, television, news, cell phones, or scrolls, everything. Now, this sounds like an amazing system, but there's a catch, an Achilles heel, if you would say. If one of the 4 main transmit towers go offline, the rest go down too. It's a huge problem. Sure, if it's a planned update, and I guess if everybody is warned, they could go without an hour or 2 of their cell phones and that. But it is still a huge flaw that could be taken advantage of by an enemy who wants to take those kingdoms back to the disarray and panic of the Dark Ages. Even things today that, like for our society, real life, like our biggest threat to our society right now is something like a solar flare that could damn near cause all of our technology to fry itself, putting us back into a literal Dark Ages. Now, for Remnant, it wouldn't be as bad. They would probably still have basic power and utilities. But imagine all of a sudden, no cell phones, no internet, no news from outside the walls of your city. For a society that's maybe been leaning on something like that too long as a crutch, that would cause a lot of panic, maybe even rioting if it went away for too long and people knew it wasn't going to come back. Now, why build a system in such a way if there could be such a huge flaw like this? Well, there is an advantage doing it this way, and using a little bit of real-life science and a little bit of pseudoscience, I will explain. The transmit system, speaking from a purely technical point of view, sounds a lot like a series-type circuit. What is that, you ask? The simplest way to explain these type of circuits is to look at Christmas lights.
Christmas lights are the perfect example of what a circuit is, especially for a parallel circuit. Most Christmas lights made nowadays are done in parallel. The reason why is if one light burns out, the rest will keep on blinking. But in a series set of lights, which a lot of older sets of lights were made, if one light goes out, you have to go through the entire set to find out which is the bad bulb to fix it. One light burns out on a series light, the entire set goes out.
Which is very similar to the CCT. If one tower goes down, they all do. But why use such a flawed system for a major communications network? If a parallel type system could keep the towers up, why use series? The answer is power. In a parallel system, each battery only contributes its individual charge to the circuit. Or tower signal, let's say. So, if a circuit is designed to work off of 12 volts and you have 4 12-volt batteries, let's pretend these are 12 volts, they will contribute 3 volts each. This is done to get more life out of the batteries, sharing the load.
Share the load. The load.
You put the same batteries in a series, instead they will work together to become more of the sum of their parts, increasing the overall power of the whole circuit. So 4 12-volt batteries would make a 48-volt circuit. Sorry if my wording of this is a bit off. It's been a while since grade 13 physics. Now, this is why I think the CCT towers are an all or nothing concept. They work in series with each other, sort of boosting each other's signals. It's the only way to have the signal strength strong enough to broadcast such far distances between the main towers. That is by using their combined broadcast strength in a fantasy world pseudoscience sort of way. This leads back to our narrator Ozpin's last line.
No one voice is louder than the others, and no voice may be silenced without the rest. If the people of Remnant are to speak, then they shall do so together.
Maybe he's hinting that there is some justice to be had against the kingdoms. Maybe there is an unrepresented group of people that have been kept underfoot, that don't have a voice, that are working towards taking everyone else's voice away. Could they be related to Cinder's group at all?
It's not about overpowering the enemy. It's about taking away what power they have.
We might even find out in the next episode. That's going to be a flashback. But something like this all kind of makes me remember again of the real world. It's a very similar thing that, you always have people that have and quite a few that have not. A very good World of Remnant this time around, to be quite honest. When I saw the title of this episode, I was a bit skeptical it would be good at all, to be quite honest. I thought that we already knew what we needed to know about the transmit system, but the fact of them working in a series system, and also the fact that dust doesn't work outside the planet's atmosphere is very interesting indeed. Well, that's all for me, everybody. Sorry it's such a short video, but hey, it was a short World of Remnant as well. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. As always, this is just my opinion. I am not an expert. If you know anything I don't, or just feel like debating, feel free to leave a comment below. Happy New Year's, everybody, and until next time, good night, everybody!